So next to my little temporary nook over there, we're busy doing construction on the house, so my little desk area has been confined to this tiny little nook set into the wall. But right next to it, I've got two big pantry doors. This used to be the pantry to our kitchen, and now it's our homeschool cupboard. And so, see if I can back up and get everything in here. This is where everything is. Anybody needs anything, it's going to be in these cupboards. So we put a little easel on the one side, and that's where the preschoolers get to do their stuff. Got all the paints in there. They can easily just open the door, and then I'm right here. They can have fun doing the paints. And I've got everything from puzzles to stacks of paper to different games we've made. On the bottom there is a bunch of art supplies. The bottom shelf has things they can get at easily on their own. And then all kinds of arts and crafts, markers, pencils, scissors, tapes, everything anybody would need is all right in here. I've got a bunch of books up on the top, so then whatever day it is, whatever subject that we're looking for, we just grab that book, and I can find activities that I need out of that. For example, on the door here, I've got our homeschool schedule. And we can look over this more, but you know, if it's math and science on Mondays, whatever I'm working on with each kid, then I go and find the appropriate book. I'll go into detail on that more. But right there in the middle, what I'm pointing at there are their assignment bins. And so every kid that comes here has their own assignment bin. So then each day they just take their own bin to wherever they want to go. We have a table set up, comfy table. I don't get real strict on the desk and the table. You know what? It's not going to define their learning. They just go wherever they're comfortable. Sometimes it's outside, sometimes it's in the fort. They both have a little planner where I have written on the date that what they need to get done. Some kids learn best by having a to-do list, and some kids don't. Some kids need it, you know, one activity by the next. Sometimes a to-do list is overwhelming. But for those kids that are kind of self-oriented, they kind of just take their own thing and run with it. Those kids that are good with to-do lists, this is a really good method for them. Inside it, they've got all of their books that they need. They each have a hanging file that's their turn-in file. Anything that I've given them that they need to do, then they can turn it in there. They each have notebooks. One's a reading journal, one's a writing journal, and then one is just for any, you know, doing their math work or spelling or anything that they need paper for. Any of their textbooks that they're using, they're called pace books, so they're basically like a chapter out of a textbook. We use those for our textbooks, and they're not lugging around a bunch of books. They each have a folder that has kind of their basic information. This is where they keep papers that they're going to have to copy, outline notes. This is where they keep their reading log, spelling lists, things that they have to access again and again are in here. And then this is the third journal. This is their research note journal. And I've copied a bunch of outline notes. And if you get my book, Intuitive Homeschooling by Solveig Plevel, it has these printables in it. So I just print out a bunch for each student, and I put them in their binders. They do a research using a book and then put it into an outline form. And then they just clip these in here. Once they're done, if they do any outside activities in the day, things that I didn't assign them, projects they were working on, they also fill them in on their planner, because then I record that as additional attendance, as additional school hours. And then when they're done, they just put everything back in here, put it back in for the day. And everybody's got their own plan. We don't just sit and work through a generalized outline of what everybody needs to do. I print off a scope and sequence from the year and divide out how I want to do that through the year. And I'll go over that more as we go on in the year. But this is basically how it's set up.